The idea that gyms are some of the most unaccepting, judgmental places on earth is complete bullshit. It's not just skewing the truth. It's actually the opposite of the truth. One of the most accepting places on earth for anybody who simply wants to improve their health is the gym. Doesn't matter if you're straight, gay, white, black, overweight, underweight. Doesn't matter. If you're in there working hard, people are very, very accepting. You know who I blame on this freaking bullshit myth the most? Planet Fitness.
Ooh.
You know why? Because they're in our space. So when they say something, like if you're a gym and you say something about the gym industry, people are more likely to take it seriously. And what they did is they took this myth, which is false, and we'll get into that. It's not just false, it's the opposite of the truth. But not only did they take it, but then they built a marketing strategy around it with their lunk alarm, with their commercial showing these meatheads who are super unaccepting and, you know, super judgmental and no, you know, judgment-free zone, right? They built that in their gyms.
And that's why I don't like gyms.
Matt, we're not a gym. We're Planet Fitness.
Gave people free pizza, made super cheap memberships knowing no one's going to show up. That's really their model. And it's super annoying when I hear people, and here's why it's annoying. I want to help people so badly. And what this myth is doing is it's preventing people from taking that first step of walking into the gym to improve their health. And you guys know as well as I do, that first step is the hardest step to take.
Well, you're not always right, but I do feel like I should give you your credit when you are. I think this was something that you called a long time ago, that this was next, that they would start attacking, you know, fitness and gyms and people pursuing their health.
Self-improvement.
Yeah. And I remember when you first said it and I was like, really? You think it's going to go that route? Like, it's not going to go that far. I really didn't think it was going to go that far. I didn't think that we would get to this point where, because I just thought it was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to come after people that are, you know, trying to build these gyms and help people out and that are exercising and improving but they absolutely have turned it into a toxic masculinity type of conversation.
Or that's fat shaming.
Yeah, and I understand why, like, Planet Fitness, they decided to angle that and basically put their attention on, you know, a fractional percentage of people that might come in and sort of, you know, it's just sort of like the human factor, right? In any kind of collection of a group of people that are together, you're going to have like an asshole in the group every now and then, you know? And so to highlight just that one asshole that's like inconsiderate and going around and doing all this stuff is pure nonsense. But to them, it works because it's like, you know, they're marketing it as like, this is like, you know, just for us, and it's not for all the meatheads out there. And so, you know, they capitalize on that. But in terms of, you know, deterring everybody from going to the gym, like, what are we even talking about now?
It's just purporting a complete false myth. It's completely false. Look, I don't care who you are. I don't care what your political affiliation is. I don't care where you come from. I don't care if you're rich or poor. When you go to the gym, the most hardcore gyms, and you're working hard trying to improve your health and your fitness, you will not find a more accepting place on earth. Yeah. Literally, there is not a place on earth that is more accepting. Try it out. Go into a gym and try to make yourself stand out, but then actually work out hard or try to improve your health and fitness and watch what the meatheads do. Watch what they'll
celebrate your success.
And they'll help you.
They'll help you.
You know, I get why some of this exists. I hate the fact that Planet Fitness legitimized it. But I get why some of it exists. When you walk into especially a serious gym, it's intimidating because it's always intimidating going to a place where everybody seems so focused. Like, I don't care what it is, what that space is. Mm-hmm. You can go into a company, walk in and see everybody working hard. And if you are not familiar with what's going on, it's going to feel intimidating. So I get that part, but don't push this bullshit myth. And, you know, by the way, what sparked this is I saw a post in Men's Health. And it's about a gentleman, Ilya Parker, okay? Founder of Decolonizing Fitness. The name alone should tell you right there the guy's full of shit.
That's the name of fitness chain?
Of their organization. And it says, is helping make gyms safe spaces for everyone. You will not find a more safe space than the gym. As long as you're trying to work on improving your health, it's literally the most accepting place on earth. Yeah. It really is. I can't think of a place that's more accepting. I mean, look, we've been in gyms our whole life. I've seen people who are complete opposites on the spectrum but working out hard together.
Diverse environment you can immerse yourself in.
So I have a different take on this. I'm less I'm less irritated or frustrated by it, and I'm actually more impressed with it. I think that, and even I didn't even know that about the name of this guy's business and what they're trying to build. It's actually really smart. It's really smart because we know that the people that go to gyms consistently, that are buff and wear tank tops and all this stuff like that, we know that they are not the best customer.
Why?
Because they use the equipment up, they put the most wear and tear, they don't miss the gym, and they normally know
they don't
enough,
buy your supplements, they don't buy your products.
They don't buy a lot of the products. They know what's competitive pricing, and so they normally get the best deal. I mean, they are the worst customer when you think about it from a business standpoint. The best customers are the flaky, inconsistent, buy into anything, don't know if a gym price should be $9 or $70. And then also
and don't use your stuff.
And
right?
they sign up, and there's lots of statistics on this. I remember the first time that I saw this as a manager and was like, whoa, that's crazy. I didn't realize it was that much. The average person gets a gym membership. They use it inconsistently for 3 months. They stop using it and they continue to pay for 7+ months.
Yeah, and by the way, that number goes up the cheaper the membership is.
Absolutely.
So if you're paying $9 a month, what Planet Fitness is doing
because it has to be averaged out. It's averaged with the consistent meatheads and tank top buff people that come every day. So that's why it's that number.
Which they're turning away.
If you gear it towards a place like Planet Fitness, which again, I think brilliant marketing. They're like, oh, here we go. We totally will ignore the people that are the serious gym goers, and in fact, we're going to shame them, and we're going to be like the opposite of them. But you know why? They represent a less than 5% of the population. We're going to go after the 95 who just want to say they have a membership or that they're trying to work out and exercise, because we know that they are not going to show up to the gym and use our equipment. We know that they're the most susceptible to buying gimmicky, fat burners and things like that we can monetize after. We know that they'll end up paying us long after they're done even using the place. So we are going to cater them. And then we're going to put out messaging like this that just attracts more of them to the gym, and it
makes our competitors look like terrible places for people who want to get healthy and fit.
Right. So
and you pay. Look, by the way, the free pizza that they give away, also brilliant, because here's what they're thinking. They're thinking, and I know exactly what they're thinking. I'll put money on this. They know it's $9 a month, meaning it's too cheap to cancel. Okay, so that's the idea. The idea is make a membership so cheap that a person who doesn't use it will look at their bank account and be like, I know I don't use it, but it's only $9 a month. I guess I might as well just keep it. And then what they'll do is they'll justify it by the free pizza. You know what? I've eaten pizza there like 4 times. That alone costs more than $9. And they keep people paying and not using it. But the part that really pisses me off is this false idea that it's this terrible, judgmental, unaccepting place, and that people who are serious about fitness are the most judgmental, unaccepting people on earth. That's so false and so wrong, and I'm sick and tired of hearing this complete bullshit. It's not even like a distortion of the truth. It's the opposite. Literally, the most accepting place you can go is the gym.
I mean, it's not true, but how often is marketing stuff ever true? Yeah. I mean, yeah,
but how often is marketing
if you smoke Marlboro cigarettes, it doesn't mean you're going to look super hot on a horse and get these hot chicks that are chasing you.
Yeah, but
it's
imagine,
like we've been marketing this way forever.
Yes, but imagine if Marlboro said, "Hey, our cigarettes cure cancer." In other words, it's not.
Didn't we pitch that at one point? Wasn't that a pitch at one point?
Well, they got in big trouble for it. I don't think they said it cured cancer, but my point is, Marlboro may be skewing the truth and distorting it, but they're not going in the opposite direction.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying?
I disagree with that. I think that marketing in general has gone anything to get eyes, right? Anything to get attention. And I think the game has even evolved and changed to this, that it's like, I mean, we saw this with Gillette. We've seen this with Nike. We've seen sometimes the game is even getting bad publicity, because then you have podcasters like us talking to potentially millions of people about a business I didn't even know about until 5 minutes ago. So, to me, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
It's just more predatory behavior of preying off your insecurities and fears, like embarking on a new, transformational change and self-improvement. And it's just like, that's what's so gross about it to me. It's like in this environment where people are actually like putting forth the effort and energy towards like bettering their life, bettering their body, improving their overall health. It's like now we got to battle this bullshit that's already like something that they might be thinking stepping into a gym environment like that. They're creating the narrative for them to justify this.
Yes, I mean, they also, and I don't disagree with your points both of you are making.
You're saying it makes a lot of money. I agree.
Not only that though, but it also gives people like myself an opportunity to counter it. So one of the things I love about when somebody lies to somebody in my space or bullshit is that I know when I get a hold of them and I give them the truth, I'm going to change their life and they'll be forever with me.
So you're grateful that they're giving us great content for Mind Pump.
That's right. That's right. I mean, I just have a different, and I'm also
Adam the Reframer.
I also think that most of us in here, I think, are capitalists. And I think that and free market guys. And so,
I don't think we should.
Right. And I know you're not suggesting
we're just pushing back.
But I mean, as a true capitalist or a true free market person, then I embrace all bad ideas, all ideas, including the bad ones, and all information, including the bad information, and then allow me to be able to provide a better service or provide the truth. And if you find a way, okay. We're all, if the pool of the world of people, we're all trying to get them into the health and fitness sphere, whether it be purely to make money off them or truly to help people. But at the end of the day, we're trying to attract them. And for decades, gyms have failed at doing a good job of that. Planet Fitness has hacked into a way to attract people that never probably would have been attracted to the gym by selling them some bullshit, but then gets them actually one step closer to potentially meeting me. That's how I look at it.
Oh, I see. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess you could reframe it that way, but here, let me put a little bit more salt on the wound, okay? It's not just Planet Fitness. It's not just, some gyms capitalizing or supplement companies capitalizing. It's not just our space. This has now moved to the political sphere. It is now fat shaming to want to lose weight and improve your health. It is now toxic masculinity to build muscle and to get stronger. It is now a place that radicalizes young men. By the way, I'm not making this up. I've read many, many, many articles trying to make this case that fitness is somehow this toxic thing, that building muscle, getting
threatened
strong
by strength.
Yes, and so now it's become and it's become politicized. And when things become politicized, they become poison, and they divide people. Well, it's
a slippery slope, and to defend your point on that is that
I don't want to hear.
And where I would be way more riled up is if it continues to go the direction that you're saying. And we start shutting gyms down, or we start policing,
or protests happen outside.
Right?
Gyms.
Now, if it starts getting like that, like okay, now you're gonna.
Although I doubt they're gonna want to protest.
I doubt that too. I doubt you're picking a fight with the wrong group.
The wrong people.
Yeah, so I doubt it. But I could see like the concern.
You imagine it's leg day. Let me in my gym.
So I mean, I see where the concern comes from. I see where and I think I would probably be more riled up if it started to get pushed that point. But I think that's just
I'm reading the tea leaves, and I think it's going to get worse. We're seeing how political diet has become in this direction. Fitness is now becoming a battleground with this. I mean, there was another post the other day where there was a woman who's PhD or whatever, and she's like, being underweight actually is worse for you than being overweight. Yet we never talk about people who are underweight. So I'm like, okay, so I got irritated, and I posted underneath that, and I said, first off, this is very misleading, and I can see what you're trying to do. And then she said something about fat shaming. I said, I can see what you're trying to do. I said, but statistically, when someone's underweight in a modern society, it's because they have cancer or an illness, or they have an eating disorder. Okay, I said, so that is a biased selection of people who are sick. Just like if you look at sleep and you say, oh, good, getting good sleep every night is good for you. Well, when you look at people who sleep more than 10 hours a night, they have terrible health. Is it the sleep? No, it's because people who sleep that much are depressed, can be suicidal, have illness, have hormonal issues, stuff like that. So I said, this is extremely misleading. And so she went back and forth with me. Oh, you just don't like, literally her words were, just say you don't like fat people. And I'm like, do you even know? I said, do you even know who I am?
I love them. That's where I make most of my money is helping those people.
I said, my career has been made on helping people in this case. And I said, and what percentage?
Obviously, you hate fat.
I said, what percentage of people in America have poor health due to being underweight versus overweight? I said, we're talking about the issue that's the big problem. The big problem is not we don't have enough nourishment. Okay, those are sick people, and that's different. By the way, doctors do talk to people when they show up and they're underweight. It shows up on your blood panels. That's usually how doctors give advice. So it's just, again, it's this whole like crazy message. It's like they're attacking the best place for people to improve themselves and their health and to be accepted. You know, if you feel unaccepted in the world because you're different than everybody, I mean, you can be weird as hell. Look, I've run gyms for a long time, and I'm gonna tell you something right now. I've seen what could be considered some of the weirdest people in the world, but come to the gym, and because they work hard, or because they hit a PR, or because they're lifting a certain amount of weight, or because they improved, everybody in the gym, it's like nobody cares. They don't care that that you look weird and that you whatever. They all come up to you like, hey man, good job, or
what's
whatever.
It's the ultimate like crab in the boiling pot that one tries to escape and then they pull them right back down
instead of trying to get out.
Yeah. And that's just what I see happening in every part of our culture right now. Like nobody wants anybody to succeed and win, and like we got to write all these articles to pull people back down into the fucking depths of despair.
Yeah.
Don't you think this is just kind of
dude?
Don't you think this is just kind of a product of the internet? Like, I mean,
well, I think the internet's a tool that's being used.
Well,
sure.
yeah. So I mean, I think that when we see stuff like this, I mean, just 20 years ago, like a moron like this that would start a company, it would never get off the ground. It would never get any news. It would never get any attention. But because we're so big, we're so connected, you can actually find, 10,000 idiots that align. And those 10,000 idiots can be dispersed over the entire country or world and would have never met each other in real life. But now, because of the internet, those 10,000 idiots can latch onto an idea like this and all come together and be this loud internet voice and make a lot of people feel like this is a really popular, and it's really not. It's really not how people feel.
Well, I get what you're saying. Now, here's why I think this is different, because you're right with what you're saying. I mean, we didn't have a flat Earth society before because they couldn't find each other. Like, nobody believed in that. But you go on the internet, you can find a bunch
you were
of
the
people.
one idiot in town, but when you have 10,000 towns, it's
you found a bunch of people.
Yeah, they all found each other.
No, here's why this is a little different, because the average person who is ignorant, and I don't mean this in a negative sense, right? What I mean is you just
unaware.
You just don't know, right? The average person who's never really been in the gym or the gym culture or ever, really worked out consistently, which is a lot of people, when they look at it, first off, before they even step into a gym, their idea of a gym are a bunch of like mean, strong people who are like, get off my equipment, oh, you're wimp, oh, you're fat type of deal. Then they actually walk into a gym. Maybe they walk by a gym, they look in, and it's intense. And it's true. Like the more hardcore, quote unquote, a gym is, right? The more serious, consistent members it has, the more of an intense culture it's going to have, which I love. But I could see how if you have no experience walking in, I remember the first time I walked into an MMA gym when I wanted to train in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I had a little bit of knowledge of judo. I'd never been in an MMA gym, and it felt intense. It felt a little intimidating. And of course, they were super accepting and cool and all, but I could see where that comes from. So they have this idea, but then what happened is marketers took that idea, this kind of underlying ignorance, and they said, hey, we can create an enemy. We can make all the other gyms the enemy and say we're the saviors because we're going to ban this fictional, judgmental lunk or whatever they called them, right? We're going to ban these people. We're not going to let them deadlift. We're not going to let them lift heavy weight. We're going to set off an alarm when they're in our gym. Like it's like me opening up a restaurant and saying, "Hey, we don't have the chupacabra in here." Like they don't exist to begin with. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's what happened. Is they took an idea. Because how many times have you guys?
Yeah, but
how many times have you guys experienced that? By the way, a new person hires you and they're intimidated, but then 2 months into it, they're like, "Wow, this is way different than I thought."
Yeah, but okay, so that's the other side of that coin is that, I mean, think about some of the most impactful movies that you ever watched. A lot of times, it was a movie that somebody like told me was going to be terrible. Oh, don't watch that, it's awful. So I go into it going like, this is going to be shitty. I'm not going to like it. And then what ends up happening, if it's a movie you end up liking, like you end up liking, you're like, oh my God, that was really good.
It was wrong.
Exceeds your expectations.
That's right. So the same thing is going to happen when people are promoting bullshit like this, when they're telling lies about what it is like to go to these gyms or you already have this idea that it's going to be so, and then you go and it's the complete opposite.
That's if they
and
decide to
and now
go.
you're in love because it blows your mind.
But that's if they
to
go.
your competition of ideas point, like that's what I do feel is, you know, the result of what's going to happen is people are, that's not working for me. Not going to the gym, not improving myself is not working, and it's not going to work at all. And so, you know, for whatever message is being pushed out there is wrong. So it's going to end up, you know, being revealed at some point to that individual who got sucked into it.
Weren't some of your guys' best clients these clients?
Yeah,
Always.
it just sucks because like
It's,
we're sort of the shepherds out there trying to pull them in.
My lifer clients that were with me forever, they rarely ever was the guy or the girl who was like excited to come to the gym or thought that the gym was
But they
live.
took that first step, is my point.
You're right.
How
Okay,
many
you're-
people are not going to take that step?
You know, okay.
Well, I'll make.
Okay, some people are not going to because of that, you know.
I'm gonna
but
point
to
some-
Justin's point, eventually they're gonna, you know, years are gonna go by and they're like this, you know, being anti the gym because it's racist, sexist, and it's toxic masculinity isn't working for me. So maybe I should go look into it.
Well, that's years.
Or I got a couple friends who are telling me the
Buzzwords
opposite.
that
But
they're
that's-
throwing out there. you
That's
know?
years, and that's a lot of potential damage. That's a lot of damage it's going to make on people's health. Look, I'll make a statement right now that I know you guys will agree with. If somebody went to let's give two gym comparisons, Globo, you know, commercial gym versus the most hardcore powerlifting gym you can find. I mean, literally, you walk in there, there's death metal, chalk, and the equipment's rusty. Okay,
Yeah, the
and
dungeon.
you're obese, and you've never exercised before, and you walk into both places. Which place is going to offer you the most free advice, free help, and be the most
Yeah,
accepting?
the dungeon
The dungeon.
every time.
I swear to God, the Globo gym's not going to give a shit half the time.
People in there don't even know what they're doing.
No, you go into the powerlifting gym, everyone's going to look at you and be like, "Hey, man, congratulations for coming in. How can we help you?" Well, I've never worked out before. No problem. I work out on this day. Let me help for free. You'll get a bunch of free help and care. That's the truth. It's the complete opposite of what they keep promoting, and now it's gotten too far. Now it pisses me off because I know there's people. My mom is one of these people. She's like intimidated. And I worked in gyms my whole life. And she's like, well, it's kind of, you know, but people are going to look at me. And I'm like, Mom, not only do people not care, but if they see you working out, people want to help and they support you. And she finally went. I got her a membership. My dad goes. He finally took her. And she's like, you're so right. It was like, it's such a great place. I'm like, you know, Ma, I've been telling you this for 20 years, you know, but it makes me sad because you're preventing people from really helping themselves by putting out this complete bullshit.